Hey, it's Heather, and welcome to Adventures in Gardening. Today, I am planting garlic. That's what we're going to be doing. Garlic and shallots. I'm going to be planting them. So we are into the second week of November, and it is 75 degrees and 64% humidity. And I live in Connecticut, Zone 6, by the way. So, not totally unheard of. I mean, I can remember quite a few years where the weather had been very mild and warm, right up through Christmas. So, the sky is not falling. So yeah, you never know what kind of weather you're going to get. I'm sure they say this all over the country, but here in New England, they say if you don't like the weather, just wait a minute. Yeah, it's kind of been a bizarre fall because we've had a hard freeze, and most of the annuals and vegetables are gone for the season. And yes, we have dipped down into the upper 20s and 30s at night. But yeah, we keep bouncing back, and we're looking at a good stretch of weather through the end of this month for sure. So even today, I saw a monarch butterfly fly through. That's late for us to have a monarch butterfly fly through. Oh, speaking of monarch butterflies, check out my necklace. So we live pretty close to both of the casinos here in Connecticut, and they had a big craft show that we went to this past weekend, and I actually saw this from across a room, and there must have been thousands of people there, okay? And I'm like, is that a monarch butterfly necklace? So I'm totally loving it, and the artist that made it this is made out of copper and glass, and I can't even do the process justice of how she told me she made it, but this is the artist and her website right here. You like that, Pipey? But really beautiful stuff, and I'm like, oh, I really would like a pair of earrings too. So, all right, so the longest part of planting garlic, I'm gonna have to relocate this cat. Piper, can you come lay over here? Come here. Yeah, okay. The longest part of planting garlic is what's called popping the cloves, okay? And these are my garlic from last year. Ideally, I want 130 cloves next year, and each of these should be about 6. So I am planting, so I actually have planted about 6 different varieties of garlic in the past. This is the one from my collection I'm going to be planting this year. I'm going to let everything else go, okay? I just, I didn't really see a big difference in the flavor, and you don't get to do that thing. And this is the largest of all of them, and I like a nice large clove of garlic. Yeah, like a nice head, large. I like a nice head, large. I like a large head of garlic. And this one, truth be told, okay, came from an organic co-op grocery store, okay? And that was probably 8-9 years ago, and I just keep replanting it. So I don't know the name of it, so I'm letting all the rest of the collection go, except I did buy one new variety of garlic. And it's because I listened to Joe Gardner's podcast, and the owner of Fillory Farms garlic was on, and he said this was his favorite variety. So I am just now opening this, and it is called Spanish Roja, and I had to get on a waiting list 2 times. So yeah. So you buy this by the pound, and this was a quarter pound. So when you buy a quarter pound, you're gonna get about 2 heads of garlic. But look at these. These are huge. Those are really big. Right, Pipe? Yes. So anyway, I'm going to be sitting here and popping these heads of garlic. I'll show you how I do it. Super easy. I just dropped my knife. All right, so before I show you how to pop the heads, I also want to show you the shallots that I'm planting. This is a Dutch red shallot, and this is a French gray shallot. Now, they say that this French gray, it doesn't have a lot of shelf life in it, and it's true. So I harvested these in July, and do you see the little, the new growth that's happening here? So I'm gonna have to do something with these right away. I'm thinking my daughter and I'm probably gonna give most of them to her, and she's going to roast them in olive oil and then refrigerate them in the olive oil. And they'll last about 3 months like that, because they're not gonna last on the shelf. This cat. The thing about shallots is you get 6 to 10 times the amount that you planted. So, this is just a piece of one of the shallots. So you'll get like 6 to 10 new shallots out of it. So you have to give them quite a bit of room. You're going to give them about 8 inches spacing between them, whereas garlic you can do about 6 inches. And so 6 inches, this is my hand, is from here to here. I mean, I can't really be mad at her. This is about 6 inches. So we'll go over to the patch and I'll show you how we're gonna do that. But right now I'm just gonna pop all these garlic open. So over the years, this is how I've come to do the process of planting garlic. Now this is one of those little Pampered Chef knives, and you're not supposed to do this, okay? But, and you just do it very, very carefully, follow the line where you see the cloves are, okay? And sometimes I'll take and I'll just wiggle that in there to get the first one out, because you really don't want to cut the clove, okay? So, and then I just pull them apart. Look at how, these are great size cloves, right? I love whatever garlic this is, I really like it. So this is the area where I have planted my garlic, right in that little circle right there, for a few years, and I'm really good about amending the soil. Now what I've done differently this year is this is where my cold frames used to be, and I pulled them out in the spring and got rid of them. And a very, very, very long time ago, I had put a patio in this area with these flat stones or field stones. Because this is a very, very warm area, and I thought I would sit out here in the winter time. Well, this area has changed again and again over the years, because there used to be a fish pond right there. So we kind of had transitioned it into the patio, and then all of my stones sunk in. They were gone. So I had to come out here with a shovel and kind of fish around for all of them. And so this is the walkway that goes all the way over to my garden, and then it goes through the garden, okay? So it's a natural walkway, and I like my natural walkway still. My husband's not so crazy about it. But what I wanted to do is I wanted more definition in this area. I just didn't want to have just a big old big old dirt spot, because my faucet is over there. So I dug up all of the stone, and then I laid some fabric down, and I tried to make it look like it was always part of the walkway, and it'll weather and it'll be fine. And no, I'm not a professional walkway putter inner. No, I'm not, but I know how to get her done, and so I amended the soil with lots of the Coast of Maine lobster compost, and I also put some bulb tone in here, and there's no facts out there on this, but I think I'm after the phosphorus in it, but I always put bulb tone down in my garlic garden. I don't want a lot of top growth on the garlic, and that is why I wait so late in the season to plant them. Okay, because if you get a lot of top growth on your garlic before the freeze comes, it can actually damage your bulb through the winter. So anyway, I've planted them as late as Christmas Eve some years. Now, what's happened here? All right, so remember this went from garlic to late tomatoes and green beans, and I had tomatoes over here as well. I have a clump of parsley here. I've always grown arugula in here, and we've had such mild weather. Look at, those are arugula seedlings, which I would expect that, okay? And the arugula will probably be plants and survive the winter. Now, the thing that I really wasn't expecting is how many tomato seedlings are in here. They are everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and just hoe them up, and then I have some weeds to pull over here before I lay the garlic and the shallots down. Okay, so our town guys are street sweeping, keeping us all safe and getting rid of those leaves, so you're gonna hear a lot of background noise. And I love our town guys, by the way, they do a great job. All right, so here's how it's going to look. I actually have a plan for this space. I'm actually starting to love this space. I have planted the Dutch red shallots here, and then that is my original garlic over on this side as well as this side, and I've left space in the back. And next year I'm planting peppers early. I'm going to be able to plant them really early because this is a very, very, very sunny, hot space. It is on the southwest side of the house, okay? And I can't plant tomatoes here. I have the last few years, but we used to have a door here and there was a sidewalk, so I can't get the stake in far enough for tomatoes. So peppers are going to go there, and peppers are going to go in that space back there. And I don't know if this little piece of garden decor is going to stay or not, but for now it is. And here is our new variety of garlic, and there are 18. So I got 18 from 2 heads of garlic from them, a 1/4 pound. And then this is the area where the French gray shallots are going to go, and I'm going to plant a lot less of those because they don't have that much of a shelf life. So that is my plan. So there is a right way and a wrong way to plant your garlic. This is the pointy end is the top, and this is your root end. So you want to make sure that you put them pointy end up. So both of the varieties that I'm growing are hardneck, and that means I'm going to get scapes from them. And scapes is the flower stalk of the garlic bulb, and they are just as delicious as the garlic themselves. So you have to make sure that you mulch your garlic really well, like 4 to 6 inches of mulch. And you know, years ago I used to go out and buy straw or hay, and I just don't do that anymore. So I use the resources that I have, and that's my leaves that I have to clean up off of all of the grass. And I don't get hung up on what kind of leaves they are. I've got a mixture of oak and maple, and I've been doing it for years and it works out really great. Now here's what I do. I hit it with the lawnmower. I have a bagging lawnmower. I hit it with the lawnmower, I dump it out of the bagger, and I hit it again. So I'm chopping it up as fine as I can, and then I put a nice layer of leaves on top of all the garlic. I'll probably do that 2 times because it'll start to pack down a little bit. So now I told you that years ago, that garlic variety that I really love, and by the way, I call it an Italian red because I believe that's how it was labeled at the time. I told you that I got it at a grocery store. I got it at an organic co-op that buys produce from local farms. Okay, so I'm not saying, yeah, go down to, you know, your local grocery store and just buy any garlic. I mean, maybe you can. I don't recommend it though. What I do recommend it to set you up for success is to find a variety that has been locally grown to your own area, okay? Don't let the fact that you don't have seed garlic and you didn't order any, don't let that stop you from planting garlic this year. I mean, you can totally do it still. We have plenty of time and the weather is still looking really good. I do recommend Fillory Farms though. I love, their service is great, their products are great. That's where I got both the varieties of shallots from and this year's garlic. So if you are a garlic grower, share some of your tips with me. Have you planted it yet? Have you not planted it yet? What's holding you back? Thumbs up if you enjoyed spending time in the garden with me today, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next adventure in gardening. See you soon.